All right, the names have been submitted, and now we wait to see the final decision. The staff of the Winston-Salem-based Carolina Disco Turkeys are sifting through hundreds of name suggestions for their newly adopted peacock. I spoke with President Greg Sullivan about their next steps. Take a look. Greg, one of the coolest mascot names in the history of all sports, the Disco Turkeys. I love it. Tell me the backstory about how you're about to get this new real mascot.
I think it would have been cool to have a disco turkey running around the stadium, but for the safety of the animal, they're kind of hard to corral. So we knew that would be not practical, but we still wanted that element just for the fun of it. So we looked around at places that have disco turkeys, which some people call peacocks. And one place that was somewhat close is Tiger World. We wanted it to be a non-profit, which that's what they are. They're kind of like a tiger, big cat rescue type place. We found a way to sponsor an animal, and it could be our mascot. So it's a win-win for everybody and a lot of fun.
So let's talk about this naming competition. So it just ended, but you were taking names, and I had to ask you, what kind of names were you getting for this to name this peacock?
We've gotten all kinds. One that was kind of weird was somebody put my name, Greg Sullivan, and I don't know if it was like a friend from college or something. We've had, a lot of names we get are like Travolta or Gibb or Gibbs for like Barry Gibb from the Bee Gees.
So Greg, now that the submissions are finished, when will we hear the winning entry?
Yeah, we're gonna show Tiger World some of the best ones we've gotten so far, and sit down and narrow this down with those guys to make sure we all love any of them, and then we'll put it up on social media this week for the public and fans to vote on, and whatever they come up with, we'll probably put 4 up there to vote, and whatever the crowd says is the best is what we'll go with.
This is great. I can't wait to hear the mascot name. You guys are doing a great job out there, my friend. Oh, nice. Nice. It's our director, Brad, up to his hijinks. So I asked you on Facebook about other strange mascot names for sports teams, and you did not disappoint. Teresa said, Burlington now has the sock puppets. They were the Indians and the Royals. And she wrote, now puppets. Jason Hutchins said the Rocket City Trash Pandas. Never heard of that. It's an LA Angels affiliate. Teresa Galloway said, well, Eric, you got me on this one. I don't have a clue. I am sportless. And Johnny J said, I always thought Tulane's Green Wave was strange. And I actually went to look that up, and that came from some song from 1920. I don't even know what that was, but that's where they got that from. The Green Wave. Also the Wofford Terriers. I always thought that was kind of a fun mascot name.
I had to look this up because I couldn't think of any, but I saw Scottsdale Community College had Artie the Artichoke, and then there was a school that had the Fighting Pickle, and I thought those were.
Oh, that's great.
And that was in North Carolina, School of the Arts.
Yeah, and then like the School of Math and Science, they're the Unicorns or something, I'm pretty sure, so they get creative with those. I do think mascots are fascinating. Growing up, I thought that a ram was called a Tar Heel, because at UNC we're the Tar Heels, but our mascot is Ramesses, so that was always confusing.
At Ashboro High School, our mascot was the Blue Comet, but we never actually had a little blue comet guy that ran around. And I wonder what he would look like.
That's right. You could have done that.
You can still do
it.
Lauren, you want to know something that's funny? I actually played against the Artichokes.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I went to junior college in Arizona. I went to Central Arizona, and we were the Vaqueros, which is Spanish for cowboys. And so when we played Scottsdale, we played the Artichoke, and we were walking around. They got a beautiful facility.
The Artichoke.
Everything is so beautiful out there. And then I'm looking around, and I'm like, what's their mascot? And it's like this little artichoke. And then I look on the jersey, it says the Artichokes, and I'm like,
we're the Artichokes.
Did they have a person in a costume?
No, they didn't have a person. I didn't see a person in the
fun.
costume. I would imagine they probably did for basketball season. It's a little hot during baseball.
Eric is our mascot expert.
I have done it. I have been the guy in the costume, and it is very hot in that costume, I can tell you.
Yes, our job had me in a costume one time when I first started here. I was in
the station?
Yeah, I was in the money, like it was during the tax refund time.
No.
I was like a dollar bill.
Don't we have pictures
Shout
of
out to Tanya Rivera. For
Someone get me a picture.
I want to see this.
Yes.
You
it was probably the worst day of my career.
You know, I worked at Chick-fil-A when I was in high school, and I always thought it would be so cool to be the cow mascot. And then they were like, Christian, you can go be the cow today. And it was a July day. It was 95 degrees.
Gosh.
And they put me on the side of Dixie Drive, Highway 64 in Asheboro. And the fan in the mascot was not working that
Oh,
day.
you had a fan.
Oh,
That's
nice.
nice.
It was
I'm about to say, at least,
brutal.
you know,
Hashtag,
Chick-fil-A
did you-
spared no expense.
Did you
was
do it
brutal.
again?
In the fall, maybe. Not in summer.
You know, we might be able to arrange that. So
We don't have to.
we'll work
I
on
think
that.
we could. You remember when the mascots used to come to the station for the ACC
Yes, so
tournament?
much fun.
So much fun.
I
We'll
got,
get
ano-
back to it.
I got another little mascot thing now. I was watching the NBA playoffs the other day, and it was the Memphis Grizzlies playing the Utah Jazz, and I just felt like that should have been reversed. Like the Memphis Jazz and the Utah Grizzlies. Wouldn't that make
Yes.
more
You
sense?
don't know about
That would make
Utah's
more sense.
thriving jazz scene?
I don't know much about Utah. I'm sorry.
That's when the New
Facebook,
Orleans
Jalen.
Jazz moved to Utah and they kept the name and everybody's like, what is
Exactly.
happening?
Hey,
Exactly.
Make it work. Make it work.